I've made it fairly clear that I grew up loving Dragon Ball as a series. I think that the show and the manga and just everything about it speaks to me. I mean, even my new channel avatar that I had commissioned from a Fiverr artist that I will leave in the comment or in the description of this video is inspired by my favorite Dragon Ball character, Trunks. I said it in my Rest in Peace Akira Toriyama video as well as my most recent video on Sparking Zero. I absolutely love Dragon Ball as a franchise, but I really like the games. And I've also made it very clear that I am not a fighting game individual whatsoever. I suck at fighting games. I suck at Street Fighter 6. I suck at Tekken 8. I suck at Mortal Kombat 1. I suck at all of them. So when Dragon Ball Xenoverse originally released, I stupidly skipped over it and decided that I would just watch other people play it and enjoy it, and people were playing it for a very long time. But then Xenoverse 2 came out, and personally, I was like, they just made the first one. It's going to be the same story. I'm not even going to really like it, so I skipped it again until recently. Xenoverse 2 came out in 2016. For reference, I am now graduating from college, and Xenoverse 2 came out when I was going into my freshman year of high school. So this game has been around for 8 years, and it is still getting updates, and that plays into why I am now addicted to the game. The other day I was, scouring through the PlayStation Store because I really wanted to play a game. I feel like games now, there's just not a lot going on. I feel like this is that time of year where there's some sleeper hits. We got our Stellar Blade, we got another Crab's Treasure, and there's not much until the end of the year. And I was very mistaken because PlayStation was having a fantastic sale. I was able to pick up the entire Kingdom Hearts franchise for $35, and I picked up Xenoverse 2 for I think like 10. I think it was so dirt cheap that I felt like I had to buy it. And man, did I buy it and get my money's worth, dude. I have played nothing but Xenoverse 2 and a tiny bit of Kingdom Hearts 1 for the last 2.5 weeks. One of the reasons I took a 10-day break from uploading videos when I was on a pretty good track record of, at least a video every 7 days, was because I was addicted to Xenoverse 2. Now, I mean this in the most appropriate way possible. I have a pretty good grasp on my addictive tendencies. I don't get addicted to a lot of things, but man, I sat on my ass and played Xenoverse 2 for almost 30 hours straight in the first setting. I forgot to record most of the gameplay that I was going through because I was so addicted to the game. I mean, what is there not to like about this game? For one, it's still getting support after 8 years, and it still has a solid multiplayer community, which is mind-boggling to me. Obviously, there's games that have been around for 10 plus years, games like League of Legends or Counter-Strike, but those are not Dragon Ball Bandai Namco games. Those are games from very reputable big companies. And yes, Bandai Namco is a very big company, but I don't think they're known for games lasting more than 8 years. I could probably be wrong on that, but again, like I've mentioned previously, I'm not going to do any research. But holy cow, did this game make me realize that I need to drop my opinion-based decision-making, because I could have been enjoying this game for 8 years. And instead, I enjoyed it for a good 80 hours over the last 2.5 weeks. I don't know what has really happened in my life over the last few weeks because I've been playing this game so much. My cat is trying to eat garbage bags. Don't look at me like you're innocent. But I seriously don't know how to even describe my feelings towards this game. That's how addicted I've been to it. I love every single thing about it. And now that I've played it for so long in such a short period amount of time, I realize how much of this and games like Dragon Ball Kakarot have inspired Sparking Zero. Like, there are moments in different Sparking Zero gameplay trailers and showcases where I'm like, that's straight out of Xenoverse 2. And I'm happy that I can recognize these things because it's making me really appreciate not just Xenoverse 2, but it's making me even more excited for Sparking Zero. I could probably yap about this game for hours on end. Everything about it to me is just fantastic. I know that people raved about Xenoverse 1 and how it managed to do the one thing that Dragon Ball games always suffered at, and having a compelling, interesting single player experience. Because let's be honest, for most IP-based video games like the Dragon Ball kind of franchise, you're always kind of experiencing the same thing story-wise. You're always going through the Saiyan saga. You're always going through the Frieza saga. You're always going through the Cell game arc, and then you're always ending with either the Buu saga or the GT saga, depending on the game and what it wants to follow. But really, like, I feel like recently, Dragon Ball games have just been hitting the nail on the head. I mean, Dragon Ball Z Fighters, again, one of my favorite Dragon Ball games. I'm going to do a video on that game in the future. Love that game. I love the single player experience in it. It really makes you like try to get adept and adapt to the fighting system. And that game has also inspired a lot of Sparking Zero, in my opinion. But Xenoverse just does not care really what it does with the story, and it implements a creative character that you get to create and customize and choose your outfit and your fighting style and how you upgrade your skills and who's your teacher. They incorporate that into the main story of the game, in my opinion, flawlessly. Like, there have been sequels to games where they'll use either your previous save data from another game in the franchise and kind of tweak your experience in the new game. Now, for me, I didn't have any save file on my PlayStation 5 for Xenoverse 1. So when I got to the kind of beginning part of the story where it made me choose who Trunks' partner was in a previous experience, I was like, oh, I'll pick one of them. It's probably not even going to matter. They get a cool statue in like the center of the new city, but then you get to fight them later on because they become a main boss in the game. That is so fucking cool. I'm sorry. I think that's the coolest shit. I played this game for so long because it annoyed me that I had to get to level 40 to become a Super Saiyan, because obviously my first Xenoverse 2 playthrough, I'm going to choose the same character because they're just my favorite race in Dragon Ball. And man, I thought I was going to get annoyed trying to grind these different missions and play these different characters just to unlock more levels faster. But no. Like, the way they do the parallel quests in this game are perfect, I think. I think especially since they're more kind of inspired by the true events of the Dragon Ball series, I just think it's done really well. The one thing that irked me at the start that I ended up loving down the line was like the music level in the game. There's not really a way for you to change how loud the background music is during like a cutscene. So I remember like in the Saiyan saga, in the very first saga of the story, it was kind of difficult for me to hear what Raditz was saying to Goku and Piccolo because of the music in the background. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, the more I like it, because it just gives me some cool background music because I already know what is going to happen, and I'm interested to see how the story changes. And when these changes do occur in the story or in the timeline, the music is toned down so you can really take in the change. And I mean, come on. That's so cool. Also, I liked that they made like the movie characters from the Dragon Ball movies canon in this game in different timelines. So they had like the movie characters interacting with characters that the Dragon Ball squad or the Z Fighters were involved with at a certain time period. Like Cooler and Frieza having some sort of communication and relationship. That is really cool to me because as a longtime Dragon Ball fan, I've always wanted to see Goku fight Frieza and Cooler at the same time and see how Cooler and Frieza have a budding relationship because of their personalities. I don't know, I'm a nerd, so stuff like that makes me fucking geek, and this game was full of that, so I was geeking the entire time. The fact that there is still DLC coming to this game, I'm just mind blown. I think this is like one of my favorite Dragon Ball game experiences ever. I'm going to be playing it multiple times. The replayability of this game, even though you might have to chug through the story here and there, it's really good, I think, because you can really customize your character, like I said, and then just play the game how you'd like. And the game is gorgeous too. Don't get me wrong. I'm playing this on my PlayStation 5, but it is so beautiful. The cutscenes are amazing. The fully like rendered animated ones are kick ass and are at like 60 FPS, so that's awesome. But then you get like the hand drawn, not hand drawn, but like the more kind of Dragon Ball esque animation style. So not even the Dragon Ball Super animated style, because the two shows of Dragon Ball and or Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super have a very differing animation style. You can really feel it in certain moments of the game, and I just like, there's cutscenes with the bad guys and Turtles and all of these other bad characters, and then you get Trunks, and it's just, there's just so much for me to talk about here. I just love it, and that's why I've been slacking on videos recently, is because I've been so addicted to this damn game. And I'm gonna uninstall it because I told myself I wasn't gonna pay for any of the DLC, so I haven't played any of it. But the base game here is freaking amazing. I'm gonna keep it in my library. I'll probably go back and eventually play the DLC. I want to get through all of the Kingdom Hearts games in a reasonable amount of time, so that's kind of my next project here, and focusing on those. But man, this game, honestly, almost a 10 out of 10. That's how much I love it. I don't know why. It's just so much fun. If you like Dragon Ball, check it out. And if you don't want to check it out, understandable. I didn't want to for a long time, but you're definitely missing out. And let me know in the comment section below if you end up checking it out because of this video. That would be cool. Kind of me just riding the game for almost 15 minutes. So apologies, but it's my channel, so fuck off. I don't really care. I don't care. Anyways, I'm gonna go play Kingdom Hearts. I'm gonna just honestly, I'm probably gonna go play more Xenoverse.